Good morning to everybody. Good morning. This is Professor Raju Rollakanti, Department of ECE, St. Peter's Engineering College, and UGC Autonomous College, Hyderabad, India. Probability theory and stochastic processes is the subject that I am giving video lectures on this. The short form of probability theory and stochastic processes, the local students call this one as PTSP. This is the subject suitable for BTech second year per semester. I am giving the lectures in Unit 1. So far we have completed 6 lectures. This is the 7th lecture on probability theory and stochastic processes. The syllabus that I am following is defined by Jawaharlal Nehru Technological University, Hyderabad. For the students of BTech in Electronics and Communication Engineering, coming to specifically the regulations are R18 regulations. That means the syllabus is applicable from the students who are admitted from 2018-19 admitted batches. This is for second year, second semester students. In my college, I am teaching the subject to second BTech ECE A and B and C students. This is Unit 1, Lecture 7. Topics are independent events, multiplication theorem of probability, properties of independent events, combined sample space, independent experiments. So today we are going to cover 5 topics. What are those 5 topics, please? If you want to note down. These are the topics: independent events, multiplication theorem of probability, properties of independent events, combined sample space, independent experiments. Let us start topic 1, independent events. Unit 1, Lecture 7, independent events. In this video, coming to independent events, I am going to introduce the concept of statistically independent events. Although a given problem may involve any number of events in general, it is most instructive to consider first the simplest possible cases of 2 events, after that multiple events. We have to discuss like that. Suppose consider 2 events A and B in a sample space S having non-zero probabilities. If the probability of occurrence of one of the event is not affected by the occurrence of the other event, then the events are said to be statistically independent events. So first let us understand what is statistically independent events. There are 2 events A and B in a sample space S having non-zero probabilities. For example, if the probability of occurrence of one of the event is not affected by the occurrence of the other event, then the events are said to be statistically independent events. Mathematically, two events are statistically independent if and only if P of A intersection B is equal to P of A, P of B. For P of A is not equal to 0 and P of B is not equal to 0. That means P of A not equal to 0, P of B not equal to 0. What is the meaning of this means is, events A and B are non-zero probabilities. We know that, see here, this is the definition for conditional probability. This is the formula for conditional probability. What is the formula for conditional probability? P of A by B is equal to P of A intersection B by P of B. This is the formula for conditional probability. For example, if you see here, probability of A intersection B is equal to probability of A probability of B. Substitute probability of A intersection B here. By substituting here, we are getting probability of A and probability of B divided by probability of B. Probability of B and probability of B is striking, therefore we are getting a probability of A only. Therefore, probability, conditional probability of A when B is given, we have to read this one. This is the meaning. Conditional probability of A when B is given is equal to probability of A. Similarly, we can write probability of B when A is given. That means probability of B by A is equal to probability of B. If A and B are two independent events, then the conditional probabilities will become like this. Probability of A by B is equal to probability of A. Probability of B by A is equal to probability of, because of this one. Coming to the three events. Suppose there are more than two events. How we are going to? Similarly, the necessary and sufficient conditions for three events A, B and C to be independent, then suppose probability of A intersection B is probability of A and probability of B. Probability of A intersection C is probability of A and probability of C. And probability of B intersection C is equal to probability of B and probability of C. Suppose if you want to consider the total 3, probability of A intersection B intersection C is equal to probability of A, probability of B and probability of C. This is all about independent events. Now let us come to, suppose we may also extend the definition of independence to more than 3 events. We have seen 2 events and 3 here. We have seen 2 events and 3 events. We may also extend the definition of the independence to more than 3 events. The events are n number, are independent if and only if for every subset of set of A I1, A I2 and so on A I k, where the k value is between 2 to n of the events, then the probability of all these intersection probability of AI1 intersection AI2 intersection and so on intersection AIK is equal to probability of AI1 into probability of AI2 and so on probability of AIK. Finally, we define an infinite set of events to be independent if and only if every finite subset of these events is independent. Now I want to explain what is the difference between independent events and mutually exclusive events. In the previous videos I explained mutually exclusive events, that means disjoint sets, that means A intersection B is equal to null set. Those are called from set theory disjoint sets. We know A intersection B is equal to null set means disjoint sets. But the same concept in probability we call them as mutually exclusive events. When we can say two events are mutually exclusive events, A intersection B is equal to set of pi, that means null set, then in probability we call those events A and B are as mutually exclusive events. But what is the difference between mutual exclusiveness and independence of a collection of events? I want to tell you here. For example, if you see here in 1 AI, that means I is equal to 1 to n, is a sequence of mutually exclusive events, then probability of union is equal to sigma of probability of AI. That means probability of union I is equal to 1 to n, AI is equal to sigma I is equal to 1 to n probability of AI. That means whenever there is a union, there is a addition. That means probability of A plus probability of A1 plus probability of A2 plus so on plus probability of AN. This is the case for mutually exclusive events. Suppose the events are independent events. Coming to second one, sequence of independent events, these are the independent events, then the intersection becomes the multiplication. This is the difference. Mutually means addition, independent events means multiplication. You see here probability of intersection I is equal to 1 to n AI is equal to pi of I is equal to 1 to n probability of A. This means multiplication. Of course, this is equally holds for any subcollection of the events. Now, let us come to the multiplication theorem of probability. Multiplication theorem of probability. Multiplication theorem can be used to find out the probability of occurrences or outcomes when an experiment is performing on more than one event. When an experiment is performing on more than one event, if you want to find out the probability of outcomes, we can use the multiplication theorem. I want to say, try to understand. If you want to find out the probability of outcomes when the experiment is performing on more than one event, so we can use multiplication theorem. What the multiplication theorem states that if there are n events an in a given sample space, then the joint probability of all the events can be expressed as, what is joint probability? Probability of A intersection B is known as joint probability. That means intersection is called joint probability. Therefore, the probability, joint probability is probability of A1 intersection, A2 intersection, A3 intersection, and so on intersection AN. This is called joint probability. The joint probability can be expressed as, you have to see clearly, concentrate here, you have to see probability of A1 into conditional probability of A2 when A1 is given. That is one condition, into probability of A3 when probability of A1 intersection A2 is given, and so on probability of AN when A1 intersection, A2 intersection, A2, A3 intersection, and so on AN n minus 1 is given. So try to understand this one. I am going to simplify in the down that if all the events are statistically independent, then probability of A1 intersection, A2 intersection, A3 intersection, so on AN is equal to just multiplication. That means probability of A1, probability of A2, probability of A3, probability of AN. What happens to probability of A2 when A1 is given like that? Let us go for the proof. This theorem can be proved by using the mathematical induction. Consider that there are only two events A1 and A2 in a sample space. Then the joint probability is given. We know the joint probability is probability of A1 intersection A2. That is called joint probability. That is equal to probability of A1 into probability of conditional probability of A2 when A1 is given. But these two are non-zero probability. Therefore, probability of A1 is not equal to 0. Probability of A2 is not equal to 0. This is the condition for two events A1 and A2. Suppose for three events A1, A2 and A3, the joint probability is probability of A1 intersection, probability of A2 intersection, probability of A3, that is equal to probability of A1 intersection A2 intersection A3. I am taking this A1 and A2 as one set. That means I am making 3 as 2. So A1 intersection A2 is, I am letting one probability A1 and A2. Therefore, I can expand this one as probability of A1 intersection A2 and the probability of A3 when A1 and A2 is given. Therefore, probability of the three events A1 intersection, A2 intersection, A3 is equal to probability of A1, probability of A2 when A1 is given, probability of A3 when A1 intersection A2 is given. This is for 3 events. Suppose 4 events are there, we have to do like this. The joint probability is probability of A1 intersection, A2 intersection, A3 intersection A4 is equal to, I want to take 3 or 1 and probability 4 as 2. I am converting this as 2. Again, I want to convert that again 2 like that. Probability of A1 intersection, A2 intersection, A3 as 1. Let this is X, and intersection probability of A4. Therefore, this is becoming probability of two events. Then we are going to have this one as, by expanding this, probability of A1 intersection, A2 intersection, A3, and probability A4 is given, into probability of A4 when A1 intersection, A2 intersection, A3 is given. Try to understand. Then here we have to expand like this. Similarly, n events are there. We are going to have probability of A1 when probability of A2 when A1 is given. Similarly, A3 when A1 intersection A2 is given, and so on. Probability of n when intersection of A1 to AN minus 1 is given. If n events are statistically independent, then we know the conditional probability A2 when A1 is given is A2. That we know. We proved. Similarly, when probability of A3 when A1 intersection A2 is given is A3. an, when a1 to an minus 1 is given is an. Therefore, by substituting this, we are getting probability of a1 intersection, a2 intersection, and so on up to an is equal to probability of a1, a2, a3, and so on. Probability of a1, probability of a2, probability of a3, and so on, probability of an. This is a multiplication theorem. Coming to the properties of independent events, there are some 4 properties are there. Try to understand one by one. If 2 events A1 and A2 are statistically independent, then A1 and A1 bar, that is complement, or A1 complement and A2, or A1 complement and A2 complement are also independent to each other. So, their complements are also independent. A1 and A2 complement, or A1 complement and A2, or A1 complement and A2 complement are also independent to each other. I repeat, suppose there are 2 events A1 and A2. These 2 events are statistically independent. Then A1 complement of A2, or complement of A1 and A2, or complement of A1 and complement of A2 are also independent to each other. This is the first property. Second property, if 3 events are there, A1, A2 and A3, these 3 events are statistically independent, then any one event is independent of the joint occurrence of the other 2. What is the meaning of this one? Any one event is independent of the joint occurrence of the other 2 events. That means probability of A1 intersection A2 intersection A3 is equal to probability of A1 into probability of A2 intersection A3. That means what? Probability of A1 intersection A2, probability of A3, we can write like that, or probability of A1, probability of A2, probability of A3, we can write like this. So, if 3 events are statistically independent, then one event is independent of the joint occurrence of the other 2. Therefore, we can write probability of A1 intersection A2 intersection A3 is equal to probability of A1, probability of A2, probability of A3 according to the multiplication theorem of probability, or probability of A1 into probability of A2 intersection A3, or probability of A1 intersection A2 into probability of A3. We can do in 3 similar ways. Third property, if 3 events are statistically independent, then any one event is independent of the union of the other 2. If 3 events A1 and A2 and A3 are statistically independent, then any one event is independent of the union of the other 2. That is, probability of A1 union, A2 union, A3, that is the union of the 3 events, is equal to probability of A1 intersection A2 union A1, A3, A2 union A3, or probability of A1 into probability of A2 union A3. We can write like this. Whenever intersection is there, we can write probability of A1, probability of this one, according to the multiplication theorem. If n events are statistically independent, then any one of them is independent of any event formed by the union or intersection and complement of the others. Try to understand what is the fourth one is. If n events are statistically independent, then any one of them is independent of any event. That event formed by union, formed by intersection, or formed by complement of the others. These are the properties of independent events. Then I want to go for combined sample space. What is the combined sample space? Consider any two experiments having sample spaces S1 and S2. So capital S1 and capital S2 are sample spaces of the two experiments. Let small s1 and small s2 represent the events of sample space s1 and s2 respectively. The combined sample space is a sample space whose events are all the order pairs, s1, s2. This is denoted by, see, all these are order pairs. So these are the order pairs s1 and s2, and it is denoted as s1 is s is equal to s1 into s2. If s1 has m events, suppose for example, if s1 has m events and s2 has n events, then s has m into n events. You have to remember this one. Suppose a sample space S1 has m events, sample space S2 has n events, then the sample space S is equal to, what is S? S is equal to S1 into S2 is having m into n. Suppose here it is have 3 events here 4 events here, so S is having multiplication m into n, 3 into 4, 12 events. The events in the combined sample space are considered as pairs of events. You have to remember the events in the combined sample space are represented as a pairs of events, ordered pairs. That is important. In combined sample space, the events are in ordered pairs of events. You have to remember that. Similarly, for n sample spaces, for example, S1, S2, S3 and so on Sn, n sample spaces are there having events Sn, where n is equal to 1 to n. The combined sample space is defined as like this: S is equal to S1 into S2 into S3 into Sn. S1, S2, S3 are all n sample spaces. We can represent like that. All the elements are ordered pairs. The elements are all ordered pairs. For example, we can call them as n tuples like this: S1, S2, S3, S4 like this. These are S1 to Sn tuples. Therefore, Sn tuples we have. You see, for example, I want to go for one example I want to tell you. There is a sample space. S1 is having car, bus, and S2 is black, white, red. Therefore, we can have the combined sample space S is equal to red car, that means red car, red bus, black car, black bus, white car, white bus. Here you see, here 2 are there, here 3 are there, total 6 are there. Therefore, the combined sample space for S1 and S2 is like this. Now let us go for combined sample space events. Combined sample space events. Consider two sample spaces S1 and S2. There are two sample spaces S1 and S2. You see, for example, S1 and S2 are the two sample spaces. Let A be any event in S1 and B be any event in S2. That is, A is a subset of S1 and B is a subset of S2. Then the event C on the combined sample space, we can define C is equal to A cross B. That means S is equal to S1 cross S2 is given by C is equal to A cross B, A into B. Since S contains all ordered pairs such that S1 belongs to A and S2 belongs to B, S contains all ordered pairs S1 and S2, where S1 belongs to A and S2 belongs to B. Therefore, C is equal to A cross B means A cross S1 intersection S1 into B. You see here, A cross S1 intersection, actually this is S2, please, this is a mistake, A cross S2 intersection S1 cross B. This is how we have to represent that one. Next, let us come to the independent experiments. If the events A cross S1 and S1 cross B are independent for any A and B, then probability of A cross B is equal to probability of set of A cross S2 intersection S1 cross B. That means probability of A cross S1 into probability of S1 cross B. Therefore, that is equal to probability of A into probability of B. Since A belongs to S1 and B belongs to S2, probability of A cross S2 is equal to probability of A, and probability of S1 cross B is equal to probability of B. Therefore, probability of A cross B is equal to probability of A into probability of B. For n independent experiments, you see, with events A1, A2, A3 and AN, and A1 belongs to S1, A2 belongs to S3 and AN, that means AN subset to Sn. Then we can write the probability of A1 into A2 into A3 into so on AN is equal to probability of A1, probability of A2, probability of A3 and so on probability of AN. This is the independent experiments definition. So thank you all, thank you one and all, thank you.